Hey Natalie, I don't think we've ever had the pleasure of meeting in person, as I graduated from British school when you were probably in year seven, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, my name's Enrique. Enrique Enriquez. I graduated last year, and I know your sister, and she filled me in about your whole situation, and I saw all the things on Facebook and all the websites being made in your honor, and I really just wanted to make you this personal video. Because of the fact that I actually know what you're going through. I have actually personally experienced what you went through, and I just wanted to, just give you a couple of words of encouragement, and hopefully this will help. Um, First of all, I'm a cancer survivor as well. I was diagnosed with quite an aggressive form of leukemia about 6 years ago, which is basically cancer of the blood. And the prognosis wasn't very good. I was given a 2 out of 10 chance of being cured. And, well, obviously that isn't very reassuring. My doctors didn't tell me that at the time, as obviously they wanted to keep my morale up, as the only thing that I could possibly do was keep my spirits up. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that later on. But first of all, let me just extend my deepest condolences to what's going, to you and your family, and to what's going on. As I said, I completely understand, the gravity of your situation. It's definitely, a trying test, but first and foremost, we're given these things for a reason. Like I always used to see myself as a chosen one, and you should see yourself as one too, someone who's been chosen by God and chosen by, you know, whatever it is you believe in, to essentially overcome the toughest test that could possibly be bestowed upon a man or a human being. And the moment you come out of that, the moment it's all said and done, the moment like the last drop of chemo has entered your bloodstream and the last cancer cell is eradicated, you become a much stronger person. You really do. You like everything that would have happened would have been for the better, because you would have matured years. You'd be years more mature than your actual age. Believe me, because when you're put in a situation where you're forced to face such a situation with this much magnitude, then you're forced to mature, and that's never a bad thing. Now, let's get back to that. There are four stages. There are four stages of grieving, and I can promise you that you're probably going to go through them if you haven't already. But this is what I experienced. Now, the first one is going to be denial. Now, we deny these things to essentially mask ourselves from reality, because of the fact that it's too harsh for us to accept. I went through this. I couldn't believe the fact that I actually had cancer. It was such an unbelievable prospect to me in the dawn of life that I could possibly have my world crashing down. So it just didn't even register. I had a feeling of numbness. And the second feeling was obviously angry at everything. At the doctors, at myself, at God. I was, I was actually questioning God as to why I was given such a trying task at such a young age. Like, what did I ever do to deserve such adversity, essentially? And the third one is obviously sadness, depression, which is a natural human emotion. I mean, when you're given such a task, you just get so frustrated, and you can't help but dwell upon the fact that everything could potentially be taken away from you, and that is scary and that is saddening, especially when you're just starting your life. And then there's the fourth stage, which is something called acceptance, and that happened to me probably in the 4th month of treatment, where I woke up one day and I looked at myself in the mirror. I was bald, skinny, and I said, "Hey, things aren't going to change from me just being melancholic and moping around my apartment. These are the cards I've been dealt, essentially, and there's nothing more that I can either stare at them and cry, or I can do something about it. I can't help the doctors beat the disease. That's their job. What I can do is not think about it. What I can do is do things to take my mind off it, do things I love, spend time with the people that I loved, and essentially find God Now, you're actually a lot luckier than I am because I was treated in Singapore, so it took a while for me to reach this quote unquote epiphany, but I did. But lucky you, you have your friends are all around you, your family, all so supportive of you. I was alone, with just me and my mom and my housekeeper. That was it. I was having to endure yeah, something so terrible, 1,000 miles away from the people I love. You're so lucky. You have people surrounding you who love you, and that's a gift. Because no matter what happens, no matter how dark your days may get, you're always going to see the light because they'll always be there for you, no matter what. They're always going to love you. Secondly, when I finally reached that epiphany, as I said, I found God. I've always I've always been an agnostic prior to my experience, meaning I didn't know whether I believed in God or not. I like to believe that there was something watching over me, but my my rational being was telling me that, come on, right? But when you're given such trials, you can't help but turn to God because nothing else seems to give you any more comfort than knowing that there's someone out there looking out for you. And in your darkest moment, in my darkest moment, I got on my hands and knees and I prayed. I prayed to God, asking me to guide me, to show me the way, to show me the light. He did. It took me a year to get better. And I'm not going to lie, it was a very difficult year. It was the most difficult year of my entire life. But I gained so much out of it, Natalie. So much. I would probably not be the same person that I am today if it wasn't for what happened to me. I learned to appreciate life. I learned to appreciate little things. I learned to appreciate every single God-given gift that was bestowed upon me. All the privileges and the wealth and the health and the loving friends and family. You learn to appreciate these things so much more, 100-fold, the moment you get over this. And I can assure you, you will. Now, anyways, if you have any questions, if your family have any questions about nutrition or precautions that need to be taken, or drug side effects you have any questions about, because I'm pretty sure that I had very similar chemotherapy that you're going through, or anything in general, like just how I coped, or if you need a morale boost, please don't hesitate to somehow contact me. If you have to, ask your sister to contact me, and we can Skype. But please don't give up hope, because that is the worst thing you can do. Your doctors will take care of your body, but you got to take care of your spirit. You have to take care of yourself. And the best way that you can do that is by keeping yourself happy, by accepting your situation and making the best out of it. I hope that this video was helpful. And if not, then I hope that you can see that I'm genuinely sorry as to what's going on, and I genuinely care. All the best. And please feel free to contact me anytime.